Crystal Palace just won their first major trophy. And I have a lot of things to say, but for the interest of this video, I'll just stick to the 6 things. Starting with the fact that Manchester City had all of the ball. They had all of the shots. 23 shots, 78% ball position. That is just madness in a cup final for someone to stay disciplined. You look at the average position of Crystal Palace versus that of Manchester City. You can clearly see the deepest man for Manchester City on average was Josko Gvardiol, staying just on the halfway line. And then you can see everyone who's playing for Crystal Palace on the left side of the screen is just camping in their own box. And this takes incredible amount of discipline, because at some point, if you are playing against Manchester City, they will break you. But this man, Olivier Glasner, he made sure that his team stayed disciplined. And we have to obviously give credit to the players as well, because it's one thing for the coach to give instruction and say, this is what I expect from you, but to actually go out and actually execute what the coach asks from you is a completely different story. Speaking of players who completely executed what the coach wanted them to do, we can't not talk about this man, Munoz. Oh my goodness, what a performance. And we're not just talking about him as a defender, but we're also talking about him in offense, because you can clearly see he goes up and down that right hand side, and the energy, oh my days. If Liverpool hadn't gotten Frimpong, I thought they were going to get Munoz, but they then went on and got Frimpong. So he is a very, very quality right wing back, and I wonder if he's actually going to stay at Palace beyond this upcoming transfer window, because if you look at Manchester United, they might be in the market for a right wing back, so things might happen, and he would fit perfectly like a glove running up and down that wing, because what we do know is that a coach like a coach of a team like Manchester United, in the system that they are currently playing, Ruben Amorim could really use a player who goes up and down. But we're not there. We're not talking about Manchester United, because another thing we're not talk about is highlight these numbers. 90 minutes, 1 assist, 2 key passes. He almost passed another ball, but then it was missed in the box, which just goes to show you that this man has crazy output. But you must remember, this is a defender, so we have to talk about his numbers as a defender. 3 clearances, 1 block shot, total tackles 5. And remember, he was marking the guy by the name of Jeremy Doku, and he only got dribbled 3 times. 3 times. 90 minutes versus Jeremy Doku, and you only get dribbled past 3 times. Solid as a rock the entire game. Which then brings us to the moment you've been waiting for, where you get to subscribe to the channel. But now, let's actually talk about the third big talking point from this match. And it's this. This is a big talking point. Erling Haaland handing the ball over to Omar Mamouche. It's like, are you crazy? Are you mad? No, actually, he's not crazy. Haaland, for starters, has been out for a while, but I have stats here. So Erling Haaland, so far this season, has missed 3 penalties out of the penalties that he has taken. So he missed 3 penalties, including the 2 that I'm showing, out of the 7 penalties. So that is not a good conversion rate. And number 2, the other thing is the fact that Erling Haaland has not scored in only 3 stadiums in England that he's played in. One is Wembley, the other one is Chetek, and then the last one is Anfield. So the confidence thing, because you come in and then you take a penalty and then you miss it. But then the question that I have is, they still De Bruyne. You're just going to hand over the ball to the new guy, right? Like, I'm not a City fan, but when I saw this happening, I was like, what is actually happening? They are handing the penalty to the new guy. Like, I know he's missed some penalties, but he's still the most deadly striker in the world, in my opinion, and yet at such a decisive moment you decide to hand the penalty to someone else? I just don't know. Something didn't feel right. But anyways, Omar Mamouche also didn't have a bad record because his conversion rate before coming to City was like 89%. So coming to City, he had only scored one penalty, but he still had that thing of from Frankfurt, he's been scoring goals. And also, as highlighted by Wayne Rooney, the fact that these things, the penalties, are not decided on match day, but it's actually something that is decided before they even get on the match. Which brings us to this man, Dean Henderson, who won Crystal Palace this thing, to be honest, because yes, the goal was scored by Eberechi Eze, but oh my days, Dean Henderson, the whole match, he kept on saving Palace. Of course, there's someone who's going to say, nah, what you're forgetting is this moment. Yeah. I remember this moment when Dean Henderson actually came out and he handled the ball outside of the box. But as you can see, in this case, the ball is actually going away from goal. And according to VAR, they said that since he's going away from goal, it's not an obvious goal scoring opportunity. As such, they did not give this as a red card because VAR, as we know, does not interfere with yellow cards. They only start interfering if it's a red card. But since this was not a red card, they then just said the match must continue, which then brings us back to this man, Dean Henderson, to saying that he had a brilliant match, saving a penalty as well, and Haaland trying to follow up and finish the ball off, but he was still there to make a double save. Brilliant. Yeah, now we need to talk about the thing that has been a frustration for Man City for years now. Some people are saying it's a frustration with Pep Guardiola, and it's this. As I show you this, I wonder if you actually clock it. Do you? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Manchester City took a total of 23 shots, right? 23 shots, but only 6 of those shots were taken outside the box. Now, this is a problem. This is a problem because you are playing against a team that is just sitting so deep, defending their box very well. But you still want to play around them all the time. And one of the shots, like the last one that is shown here, it was Doku. He had just given up at this point. And in fact, after that shot, the match was over. Now, my question is, why did they not do this often, right? Because I remember that one goal against, what's this team, against Leicester City, like a few years ago, when Kompany just decided to take a shot. And it worked for them. So now I still wonder to myself, why do we not see Manchester City take more shots against teams that play low block against them? I just don't understand, because they have players with the technical ability, the likes of Phil Foden. It's just that we don't know what's happening with Foden. Of course, there are other things that are happening outside football that might be affecting his performances in football. But yeah, this is not great. A team is sitting deep, but you always want to pass the ball into the net. Just take a shot, man. But what did you guys make of this performance by Palace? Do let me know down on the comment section. Congratulations to Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace. And yeah, let me know. And make sure to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.